Hey guys, Andy here from Mediocre Hobbies coming at you with Proxywars' beautiful new Kickstarter. I've actually worked with Proxywars now for quite a number of months, and this is actually the third Kickstarter that I've helped them launch. It is once again fitting in with their amazing modular scenery that they have brought out. They have brought out 5 biomes already, and now they are shifting over to a military spec. And I'm going to get one of those buildings obviously printed up, sprayed up, painted up, and on the tabletop to see what it looks like, how it feels and how it interacts. Check out all the different details and how easy it is to work with. So hopefully you guys are excited to come along on this journey with me and learn all about Proxywars' new Kickstarter. Now, I went a little bit overboard with printing because I tend to. So how it works, how the system works is the central core structure, this piece here, is made in PLA. So you print this out on your plastic printer to give yourself a nice solid structure to put your walls into. And then from here you have the choice of either casting the rest of the walls, the inserts, in obviously beautiful high crisp resin, or if you do not have a resin printer and you're just going to stick with PLA, they do have the options for you to print them flat and print them in PLA as well. And I must say that the detail, even on the PLA ones, is absolutely staggering. So I put both of these printed out. I'm going to put both of them into the building so that you can see the detail next to each other, PLA versus resin, and see if you can notice the difference. Like I said, I went a little bit crazy and printed out quite a lot of walls. So I'm going to go through those walls now, see where they fit into the building, and but get a general vibe for this whole piece before I glue it together and get it sprayed. If you guys are interested in checking out this Kickstarter, there are going to be links in the description below that'll take you straight to it. It was funded in about 4 seconds of it being launched, which is basically the same as all his other Kickstarters. Have been a total success as well. So people definitely see value in these products. So if you want to check this out, I will leave some link in the description below. I will also do a small showcase of his launch video later in the video, so you can see exactly how his whole system works, and you can be a judge for yourself whether it's something that suits you or whether you're going to give it a pass. And as you can see, I definitely printed too many wall sections. I think I had like 6 or 7 entire wall sections left over when I was done constructing it, but I got carried away. I wanted to see all the different designs and how they would turn out. I printed off what they recommended and then a couple extra ones that I thought were kind of cool. I printed all of these on my GK2 printer. Printed it just fine. Removing supports was easy, quick. Left no marks on the prints as well, which was really nice, which goes to show that it was supported correctly. I do like all the extra details, the pipe work. There's like a big energy conductory bit on one of them. And then just extra bits where pipes can be attached. And then of course things like windows and all those bits. So it's not just flat boring panels. There is quite a lot of extra detail added to these pieces. And I honestly wish I had a number for you right now about how many wall sections are in this Kickstarter, and then how many wall sections are in the entire campaign, all the different biomes. It must be hundreds at this stage. After I had finished cleaning up all of the prints, it was then time to assemble them. So the military system is actually really interesting because it's almost like a prefabricated structure. The idea being that a military force will show up in an area, you know, make sure it's semi-safe, and then set up a compound or a base or structures in that area to support themselves as they continue operations. What this means is they have to be fast to be deployed, easy to construct, and easy to defend. So the way they work is the bottom floor of all the military structure buildings are these kind of awesome bunker pillbox style walls. They're much thicker, they've got awesome firing slits throughout them, and it really does just set the mood for the entire military base. From the first floor onwards, you then add all of these kind of thinner corrugated iron walls and other structures, which once again just help feed into that idea of it being this, you know, fastly constructed building. So with this one is where I started to play around a bit more. So this is one of the window sections, which is nice. I like it. And then these are the energy structure bits that I was talking about, which I left in front of me and then forgot. I think these bits are pretty cool looking. Which then goes to, if you wanted to, for instance, break apart all the buildings you want in your military structure or your compound or whatever, you could have one building which is, I don't know, like the energy, well, basically the energy building. What am I trying to say? The janitorium, that kind of style. And you can put more walls which have those energy bits or the conduits and stuff on it to make it seem that way in painting. Here's the difference between the PLA and the resin print. As you can see, the PLA is still quite a nice and sturdy design, and the detail is really crisp. It also slots into place really, really well. That's another sign of really good construction. I've gotten files before, you know, I've got a portcullis building piece, and then you print off this big grated, the gate for going down the portcullis. And it's supposed to just slide in through the top, through the PLA print and go into place, and it never once fitted. So I was always a bit dubious about the idea of having those kind of tight-fitting parts in PLA. But obviously that has been dissuaded with this. They fit like a dream. And now I have all the parts of the building ready to rock and roll. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go away and I'm going to get all these pieces sprayed up. I'm going to get them a nice solid coat of black spray. And while I'm going to go away and do that, I'm going to leave you guys with the kind of promotional video for this Kickstarter made by the actual Kickstarter company, Proxywars themselves. So you can see exactly what this was supposed to entail.
Hey there, fellow creators and strategists. It's been an incredible journey together, and today, I'm thrilled to share something truly special. We've come a long way, building not just terrains, but entire worlds with our 5 unique biomes. Each one, a testament to our shared passion for gaming and creativity. And you've shown me just how much you love bringing these worlds to life, with every structure we've built together. Now, we're stepping into a new chapter, the military base. Join me as we dive into the heart of this latest adventure. Let's pick a building right from the military base collection. The process? Simpler than ever. The core structure is crafted in PLA. As for the walls, you have the freedom to print them flat on your PLA bed for easy assembly or opt for pre-supported versions designed for resin printing, offering unparalleled detail and precision. We've tailored every aspect to meet your needs, ensuring that whichever path you choose, the end result is as fantastic as your imagination. But why stop there? The beauty of our system lies in its versatility. You can customize your building to fit the exact vision of your battlefield. And it doesn't end with buildings. We're talking terrain, armored units, bases, accessories, the whole 9 yards, ensuring your table is not just a game but a saga. Remember, the journey doesn't end here. All previous biomes are up for grabs as add-ons, and guess what? This year is going to be epic. More biomes, more stories, more battles. We're just getting started. So, whether you're here to expand your existing world or to embark on a new crafting adventure, know that hundreds of simple-to-download, print, and assemble buildings await. Tailored download options to suit everyone's needs, endless possibilities for complex structures, and thematic tables for immersive scenarios, it's all here. Crafted by a fanatic, for fanatics. Let's make our tabletops not just games, but legends. Join me, and let's continue to create, explore, and conquer.
Okay, and as for painting scenery, if you've been around my channel before, you know I've painted a bunch of scenery here. And you know I love keeping scenery as simple as possible. I always think that a set of scenery should frame a table, but it shouldn't draw too much attention away from the awesome armies on display. No matter how detailed and awesome the buildings are, I think the paint scheme is one of the most important things. So obviously this piece of a military building is actually quite damaged and ruined, so I'm going to give it the appearance that it has been left for quite some time. It is an old, disheveled, broken down piece of scenery, maybe from a long forgotten campaign, and new military forces are moving into the area and fighting over these key areas. Maybe there's an important piece of tactical information left behind or something like that. So I'm going to paint it accordingly. So what I did is I grabbed some deep, rich brown paint and I applied this to all the like corrugated iron parts of the buildings, in some of the recesses and cracks and stuff like that, just to give it a base coat for some kind of rust technique that we will do later down the line. After that, I grabbed a nice military shade of green, just a nice dark military green. I missed that bit with the spray and it's really annoying me to get a solid coat back over it. You will notice the whole way through and it drove me nuts. But yeah, nice dark military green for all of that kind of bottom compoundy part, and then all the struts in the flooring, so all the like solid pieces. Once I got these two main base coats on, I decided that I wanted to assemble the building then as one piece, so that the rest of the like weathering and chipping and damage or anything else I do to it kind of blends together. I don't want to paint one entire floor and another triumph floor completely separately, and then when you put them together, they don't really match all that well. I much prefer doing it like this. Now obviously, like I say at the end of this video, that this building is designed to be super modular. It's designed for these beautiful little pegs to go into each of these pillars, so you don't need to super glue them together like I did just there. But I prefer having much more solid structures, like complete buildings. I like to design them and then leave them that way. And I think when I do the rest of this table and the buildings with walkways and stuff like that, I am going to glue them all together as well and make this awesome, dense, tall table. As you can see, I go in with a little bit of orange in the airbrush now, and I hit all of those brown areas with that. I did hit the green areas as well, just a little bit, And this is going to add a little bit of that kind of, like I said, the rust effect. It's really subtle and it's really nice, and it really does help those areas of the PLA prints where there isn't detail on the back, but you can add detail with a bit of paintwork. After that, all I did was grab a bit of silver paint and give it a light dry brush. That pretty much brings an end to the painting side of this building. I used 4 paints, and I think I achieved quite a nice result. And I think that's another important thing. Like, the buildings you can construct with this Kickstarter, some of them can be huge and daunting and scary. And the idea of being able to, over the course of a couple of weeks, get everything printed up and then sit down for an afternoon and get the entire table's worth of scenery painted without kind of breaking your back or killing yourself, I think is super important. And as you can see, all I'm doing here is getting all the sharp edges, all that corrugated iron gets a coat of silver to give it that kind of weathered, broken down old look. And it obviously helps with the rust technique as well. As you can see, I'm not being particularly careful. And with that, the end result is this. I have a beautiful finished military structure. The guys who asked me to do this video for them wanted a destroyed structure. I would have liked to have done a solid one as well. Maybe I will do one of those in a video in a couple of weeks and show you what that looks like as well. But so far, super pleased about this. I can't wait to do some smaller and some larger buildings in the very near future. Okay guys, and there we have it. We have gotten one of the beautiful military base buildings from the new Kickstarter from Proxywars constructed and painted up. I like creating it as a solid piece. I like to glue it all together and just have it as one block of scenery. But obviously the kit is designed for all the floors to be constantly pulled apart, and for interchangeable walls you can change the layout and everything as much as you please. I shown you earlier in the video how easy it is to design a piece. Originally I felt like it was going to be really difficult to decide on a shape and pick out walls. Like, I went into the original files they sent me over and it was just like a folder with walls, and there was 100 walls to choose from, and I got a little bit overwhelmed about, oh god, which walls do I print and how do I make a building? Until I went into their custom program that they have for constructing the buildings, the one I showed earlier in the video, and that just made things so much easier. I just choose height of building, whether I want it to be solid or destroyed, and then what biomes I want it to use, and then bam, it spat out a billion different options of buildings I want. Pick the one I want, hit download, and it printed out, or downloaded the file in this perfect, here's the first floor, download this piece of software, print these walls, and this, it was so good, it was amazing. This is the one I did in the previous Kickstarter. I did it as a more traditional kind of urban red brick building with some old crumbling facade. Really like this one as well. And you can pick up a bunch of their older biomes on the Kickstarter as well as nice simple add-ons. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was something a little bit different. I do like getting some 3D printing videos in as much as possible, as it is a huge hobby of mine. If you can't tell, these are a bunch of retired printers, but there's a million other printers around the room, and I love printing things pretty much on a weekly, if not daily basis. So more printing in the future. So if you like the look of these buildings and you want to check them out for yourself, I will leave links to the Kickstarter down below. It is already fully funded, so if it's something that you're interested in, you can be guaranteed to get your hands on it. And they are, of course, unlocking new things every single day to make the buildings even more grand and awesome. I like particularly the walkways between other tall buildings. I always thought that added a really nice extra element to scenery on a gaming board. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a like. Ask me any questions you want in the comments below, guys. I will answer every single one of them, as I always do. And make sure you subscribe to the channel for all things hobby related. Thank you guys so much for sticking around to the end. I'll see you in the next one.